Okay, so I have to tell the story of what happened tonight when Melissa punched me in the head at my daughter's dance class at Premier Performing Arts in Monroeville. Um, so I don't know if you can really tell in the video, but my face is like swollen over here and it really hurts like all through here. So basically she like punched me like with her closed fist like right here. And so I got the side of my head and the side of my face. And yeah, so I have been going to my daughter's dance and at this new dance studio since I ripped her out of the studio that she's been going to since she was in preschool. They did that a couple months into the school year this year long story. So she takes her out of Donna's and then she puts her into Premier where they have to wear masks, whatever. Okay, I have to accept it. I've been going to dance. It's been great to see my daughter dance. And then tonight, so Melissa was there the first time, but she was only there for like 10 minutes and she left. There was no issues. I've actually never had I've never even met Melissa. Like, we've never even been introduced. I just always see her places, and she has screamed at me over the phone several times since she has met Gino. But otherwise, so I'm at dance. I'm waiting for them to get there. They come in, and I look over and I see Gianna, and they go sit down in this little waiting area. There's a window where the parents can watch the dance. So I'm like, come here, sweetie, like, just like, I always do. And she starts to come over to me, and then Melissa calls her back over as her and I are walking together towards each other. And so I just like walk over and I kneel down. So if I was going to do anything, I obviously wouldn't have kneeled down. I kneel down in front of her chair and I put my arm around Gianna, and Melissa has her shoes and her coat on her lap, and I go to grab her shoes. I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, I'll help her get dressed, And she grabs the shoes like with a death grip, and then she knocks my phone out of my hand and it goes flying on the floor and hits the floor. Gianna runs away. And I went after Gianna. Gianna starts screaming hysterically. I've never seen Gianna cry or scream like this ever in her life. Gianna runs away. I run to Gianna. I start rocking her and holding her like, shh, shh. Melissa is like yelling and trying to take Gianna with her to leave. She's like, let's leave. We're leaving. Gianna is screaming, no, 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 that she didn't want to go with her and holding on to me for dear life. Melissa then walks in where the class is happening, starts yelling at the teacher, saying, look what she's doing, and saying all of these things. Melissa comes out like a huge bully. I'm still rocking Gianna, consoling her. Gianna is still screaming. She says to a dad sitting there, didn't you see her put her hands on me? I did not put my hands on her. I did not. And video will prove that. I did exactly what I just said. And he said, no, that's her daughter. Like, hey, that's her daughter. Like, well, then she's getting really mad. She starts yelling at the dance teacher and yelling at me. And then I started yelling at her saying that, you stole my kids, and she's been at Donna's since she's been 3 or 2, and you took her out of Donna's and now she's here. And so the dance teacher was like, we don't want this here. We don't want this here. I'm like, I understand. I don't either. She said, let's go. Gianna's still hysterical. We cannot calm her down to go into dance. When Melissa said that I put my hands on her, which I did not, Gianna got even more hysterical because she's probably scared that these people are going to put her mom back in jail. So the teacher says, let's go back into the room and into this room. Okay, so we go back into this office, and Gianna sits on my lap, and I'm rocking her, and she's hysterical. And Melissa is trying to grab her out of my arms to leave with her. And I said, that's it, I'm calling the guardian, my kid's attorney. So I had to call the guardian, and the teacher was like, I'm going to take Gianna to this other room. So she starts walking Gianna out, and I start calling the guardian. I realize that it's after 6:30 p.m. I have his office number. It is closed. I hang up. I start to walk out of the office. Melissa is behind me. She starts to say something to me. I don't even remember what, but something nasty. I turn around and bam, she just clocked me as hard as she could. She stands like almost a foot above me. She's bigger than me, and she just bam. And I basically ran for safety into the waiting room where the parents were. And I said, she just punched me in the face. She just punched me in the face. Gianna is in the room howling at the top of her little sweet lungs. I then call 911. The teacher comes out. She does not want the police being called. She says her husband's a police officer. I'm like, so are we supposed to wait for the off duty? I'm like, I was just